the production company world, and
Mm.
I'm still keeping my dreams and hopes alive, you know.
Yeah, just go down somewhere. You know,
Absolutely.
there's groups, there's meeting groups, there's a lot of amateur dramatics groups. I'm sure if you put something on social media saying, "Hey, I wrote something, anybody want to come and read it for me?" You might have actors come down and offer to read it for you. Might
Yeah,
do that. Mm.
I think what I'm gonna do is try and print out the little bits out of it, and you know, it's just the way you do, and then
But
share.
remember that it becomes these projects when you write something down, when you want to, well, unless you're at the very, 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 very high level, and even at that, it's still probably the case. It's a collaboration. People bring things to the table, so you come in and you've got something that's not quite perfect, and then you bring in the actors and they say, "Oh, we can make this better by doing this. That would really work there." And you go, "Oh, brilliant! I've got ideas." And more people, it's a team. You're building something together, so it's not all. You don't have to write a smash hit. You just have to start writing. And the big thing is, I always say, is that if any critic comes and criticises anything, where were they when the page was blank? They weren't there when the page was blank.
Yeah,
You know, and
very
that's
good.
you. You're in that room with a blank page, being creative, taking the step, you know, the brave step to put that pen to paper, you know,
Yeah,
and start writing something.
yeah. I'm just
That's good.
yeah, I just have so much love for, you know, the theater, because it takes a lot of that's where you actually, because in a movie scene, when they're shooting a movie scene, you could edit out the, you know, 20 takes, 10 takes. You can do as much takes as you want. But and it's live on stage. That's it. That's what you're getting. You see all the
Amy,
music, don't
you were
you?
saying it, you described the wee girl with the Moses basket. A lot of storytelling came from religious. You know that was a lot. A lot of the stories came from there. I find it's magical and very spiritual. And I love the theatre for that. You know, kind of to me, that the theatre is an extension probably of a church in many ways. There's spoken word, there's singing, there's dancing, there's a coming together. You know, kind of it's truly magical. So I love the theatre in that sense. And the movies and stuff's different. There's a very different feeling to it. The magic nights of the movies are the nights when you go to the cinema to see it, you know, when it's all done. The days on set can be long and hard and cold. I mean, filming in Scotland with Outlander for 6 episodes was freezing cold, pouring rain. You know, it wasn't a joy you weren't dancing around all day. It was freezing cold. But it was nice to sit in the house and watch the end product of everybody's work, that collaboration coming together on the screen, you know, and it's always different from what you see it when you read the script. What's on the screen is always different from what you could see, because it's got so many different people's talents. You know, there's hair and makeup, and there's costume, and there's the visual effects team. There's so much sounding and lighting. There's so much more goes into it than just the actors. You know.
Yeah. And just the last question that I want to ask, I don't know about Trevor. Trevor still got some questions, but do you think it's easy to be a director, a producer, an actor? Do you think it's possible?
They're very difficult jobs, and I don't mean that in the sense that, you know, a doctor's a difficult job operating on someone, a brain surgeon. It's a difficult job in the sense that opportunities are few and far between, and a lot of the time the successful producers, sometimes it's that came from money. You know, if you've already got money, you can go and make a movie. You know, you've got money to spare. But a lot of people have maybe put their own money into something and worked hard and came good. I mean, Gareth Ellis Unwin is the producer of Kajaki, the movie that we worked on, and Gareth was part of the King's Speech. Now he went into the King's Speech and produced it. They had no idea it was going to be such a success. You know, I mean, they won Oscars and stuff. It's an incredible story, and I've had the privilege of sitting in a bar and having Gareth share that story with me as well. But you know, there's an aspect of you work really, really hard, and sometimes you get lucky. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of amazing stuff out there that isn't winning Oscars. There's amazing actors out there that aren't on the stage, but as you said, there's amazing actors and singers somewhere in restaurants doing something, living their dream. There's people on cruise ships. There's people finding a way to be creative in different roles.
Yeah.
You know? I'm sure there's salespeople singing in the aisles and, you know, kind of using as much of their skills as they can to sell cars or whatever it is they do. So if you're in the entertainment business, you're an entertainer. But it's a tough industry. But I think it's managing your expectations of. I get as much enjoyment from standing at the back of a theatre, producing a show, and knowing that I've helped fill the theatre as I do being on the stage. I've got no problem being a spear carrier, because I've been a lead as well. And I know the days that I'm a lead, we need a spear carrier. So I don't mind taking my turn of being a spear carrier and letting somebody else be the lead that day.
Wow. It's been very insightful and and knowledgeable. Just having you on the show, man. It's you know, we've learned quite a lot, and I believe our listeners and viewers are going to learn quite a lot from that as well. So I don't know if Trevor has anything to add there.
Only to say what I think you just said was very, very important, and that is breaking into the business of acting or music as well, similarly, is tough. And I'm sure there's a lot of excellent people out there, would-be actors, would-be musicians, singers, songwriters, who never quite make it. So therefore, I agree with you totally. It's about what you do to make your own fulfillment in what you do. I mean, I write songs. I love the process of writing songs. And even if I never get anywhere really big with it, I would still write songs. I mean, at the moment, I've got somebody, a promotion company, pushing a few of my songs. And in fact, she sent me a report today, an interim report, where my two recent songs over the last 2 months, I think it's something like 500 or 600, I've not counted them yet, radio stations and some interviews. So I'm feeling quite optimistic, and that my songs actually at the moment. Well, funnily enough, I had an email when I was in New York last week saying that one of my tracks was on a radio station in New York, as well as Vegas and Indiana and so on. So your hopes build up. There's something good just to get a wider audience. And as I say, I do hope that something like that happens. But I also say that I love what I do. I do a bit of public performance more these days than I ever used to. That's fulfilling. Like acting, it can go badly wrong when you completely forget the lines of the song, and you find you're either making them up because you can't even remember a single verse. But that's all part of the fun. And if that happens, I let on what's happened, and I think it's picked up anyway. But yeah, it's great to be creative, and I think it is in acting, painting, music, and there's a hell of a lot of us in these industries. And yeah, the best probably get through. Others will stay at some level. But
Well,
I said at the outset, I was very impressed with, if I may say, with what you've achieved, and it was great to know you were coming on our podcast. So thank you. I was going to ask you the title of your book, Scott.
Oh, the title of the book is "It's Not Where You Start." It's not where you start. And that was about, I went into college at the age of 21, didn't even know what a monologue was. So I didn't have the best start. But also, I'm a care experienced kid. So when I was younger, I was in foster care. Now as an adult, I'm now a foster carer. My wife and I are foster carers for two amazing kids. Mm-hmm. Came full circle on that as well. But I kind of wanted to just touch on what you said there. I thought it was really, really potent and important, Trevor, is that I remember hearing a story or seeing a quote somewhere, and it was attributed to Bob Dylan, and somebody said to him, "What is success to you?" And he said, "Waking up in the morning and going to bed at night, doing what I love in between it." And that can be, if you're a musician and you've got a gig on tonight in a local pub and 30 people are there, then wow, on you. That's fantastic. You don't need to fill Madison Square Garden to be successful. No. Do you know what I mean? You've got an audience, and that's it. And if you're there, you're saying you're there, and things don't go absolutely great, and you have a bit of a laugh and a chuckle, then it's about connecting people. It's not about everything being perfect. No, you're there to take people's minds off of things. Sometimes people seeing you mess up makes them feel a wee bit better about what's going on in their world, because not everybody else has got their stuff together,
No, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Right. Yes, it's been a very interesting hearing from you, Scott. Really interesting. So thank you.
No worries. Well, thank you both for your time, and thanks for having me on. And I hope you make it along to the show. We're coming down to London obviously next month. I don't know what your nearest venue is, but hopefully see you at the theatre show and get a wee pint in the bar afterwards.
Right.
Yeah, if we see you, I'll definitely. I'm sure Emmy as well. We'll come along, and we'll look you up afterwards.
Yeah,
very much so.
I'll have a look on your website, because I kind of base in Bradford. So I'll have a look, see what's in Leeds or Manchester. Those are the closest to me.
Stafford, I think we're doing Stafford. I think we're coming down that way.
So, Stafford. Right.
Yeah, I think that's
yes. So Stafford is about an hour and about an hour and a half away from me. So.
There might be a nearer one. That's just the one that came to mind when you said Manchester.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, we'll have a look on your website, and we'll come along and support you.
Okay. Good man. That's great. I appreciate it.
Night, man. Yeah. So I've been Emmy Hikins, and you've been watching the Alien Spaceship with our special guest Scott Kyle. So I've been Emmy Hikins, and over to you, Trevor.
I've been Trevor Gear.
And
I've been Trevor Gear, and thank you.
And our special guest, Scott Kyle. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
And me.
Yeah, so
Take
join
care.
us next time for another interesting season of the Alien Spaceship podcast. Thank you very much for watching.